Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. See, One Chan, good to see you. Jade, good to see you. And Luna. I do apologize. I've almost got rid of this chest congestion, but it is still complicating. But we're going to fight through this. We're going to have a good time tonight, all the same. Got me a cup of coffee. And for those of you who saw last week's stream and sent me the well wishes and everything like that, and hoped I got better faster. Thank you very much. That was very sweet of you. And I forgot to turn off my phone. So we will go ahead and do that, so that don't happen again. Heroin, good to see you. And Victoria, welcome. Mugs up to y'all. So it's been an interesting week here. It's been very busy. We've had a lot to work on around the house, which has kind of gotten in the way of me actually getting some stuff shot that I wanted to get shot, but that's okay. I try not to overstress about stuff like that because if you don't take care of your house, you ain't got nothing really to worry about when it comes to everything else because, well, everything starts falling apart on you. So there was that. Of course, as many of y'all saw from Magical Coffee Hour last week, the daughter was in visiting. So we did an early Thanksgiving on Monday. So we had our turkey and stuffing and all that on Monday. So we've also been working on getting rid of leftovers. So I've definitely not been on program as far as my healthy eating goes. But that's okay. It's the holidays, right? Now, aside from that, though, I have still been working on getting ready for next year. And the North Path working, I'll be working on for that. And setting up some other research and even doing a slight rearrange and reorganization of my office area so I can be, in theory, more productive. In theory. So it has been a very, very busy week. Also, I had a lot of people messaging me about doing a holiday roast video, more traditional instead of the pot roast style that we did do. I heard y'all. And I can actually say that thanks to my channel subscribers, Working Dragon Mystic was able to easily afford what we needed to actually shoot a traditional Yule roast style video. So come December, when we get into Yule, keep an eye out for that because we are going to do that. We are going to keep it simple. I think many of you know that some of those roast recipes that you will find during the holidays get a bit complicated. They're going to tell you to turn up the temperature, down the temperature. So we are going to shoot this one in a way that if you've never done it, as long as you have an oven and you can set your oven. Hold on, I'm going to get a cough drop. That you'd be able to do this. That's the ideal here. I was hoping I wouldn't have to be eating on something while y'all were here. I apologize. So sorry about that. Let's see. So keep an eye out for that. Because I had a lot of you actually requesting that, and I had a lot of people who also told me they actually used the recipe for Yule, and some of them even actually the people who asked me to do the original recipe that I mentioned in the video their families absolutely loved it. They knocked it out of the park. So that was awesome to hear. Um, so let's see here what we got going on. We do have a topic tonight. I'm giving it a few more minutes to let a few people drift in. Let's see. $20 by doing a spell for a friend and started thinking I could turn my practice into a business. What are your thoughts? Oh, Oni-chan, when it comes to spell work for money, you have to list it as entertainment, um, because there's so many legal crap to do, and um, it also can become very, very stressful because you'd be surprised how many people out there are wanting spell work for problems that are just like they're often left field. People will be messaging you all the time. When I first started attempting to build working Dragon Mystic and other things, um, and I was teaching, I actually did offer spell work for a short time. Even on the website, you could actually go and place the orders. But the emails and orders that were coming in, and the descriptions of what people wanted, they were either, I'd say 80% of them were stuff I'd never do a spell for anyway. And people just expect me to take their word on it. But then the other 20% was just way more than I could keep up with anyway. And of the 20%, I'd say 80% of that 20%, they have no concept of follow through. They're looking for a wish. They won't do anything on their end to actually help with the achievement of the actual goal, which is kind of sad. So, me personally, it was just something. It was an aggravation I didn't want. So you have to make that choice for yourself. It could be doable. I know a lot of people who do it. I personally no longer offer spell work for sale because if I can't sit down with you face to face and discuss the issue, I ain't going to do the spell work. And I actually do prefer to teach people to do for themselves, not to rely on me, which is why I find teaching magic and the practice far more enjoyable. But it is possible. There's people out there who do it. Let's see. Hey, A12. Didn't see you pop in here. Welcome. See, Luna must be the season. I just spent 2 days organizing stuff. Yeah. We are clearing out bookshelves and everything around here. It's been crazy. Any news on the Draconic middle pillar ritual? I emailed a few of my friends. They do have interest in potentially working on one. Myself and them have not been able to get together and sit down and do it yet. I know one of them at least has confirmed he'll be available after New Year's. The other two, I don't have a confirmation of when they would be available. Hermetic. So I'm kind of waiting on that a little bit. I've been pulling a few notes of my own just to be ready for when they're ready, so we can sit down and hammer this out and get it together good. Because I have a strong setting in dragon magic, and I got a functional use of ceremonial. But to make sure everything's vibing correctly on both sides of that fence, I want to make sure I'm building this with someone who is a dedicated ceremonial practitioner. That way I know it's going to work. Same way I did the Draconic Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. So that is in the works. Let's see, Oni-chan, what do you think would happen if I put hay in my boot and left them outside for Yule? LOL. And you somehow changed my mind on the spell work business. Oh yeah, it's frustrating, man. It is. I mean, it sounds like a great way to make money. Um, doing something you love, but then you realize how frustrating it can be. So, and if you want to put hay in your boot and set it outside for Slafnir, which is actually a Norse tradition, um, by all means, give it a shot. You may find something pleasant in your boot. Let's see here. Where are we? Okay, Victoria. Huh. How can I keep entities from distracting me at work? I know you said once they tend to make it look like you're talking to someone, but what if a boss or colleague is watching through a camera? Um, Learn to speak with them through thinking it. Think at them. Don't look at them. Don't move your mouth. Think at them. That's the easiest way to do it. Either that or don't respond to them at work. Part of that is about self mastery too. You have to be in control of how you respond and how you handle it. But the easiest way to do that is to think at them in their direction, and they will hear the thought and they will be able to respond just fine. And a camera won't see that and won't pick that up. Like what? Uh, Saeed. Uh, good evening, Saeed. So, okay, tonight's topic, since we actually do have one, I wanted to actually talk about mistakes that beginners and even long-time practitioners might make. And I was actually hoping to get you guys involved and perhaps um, get you guys to pitch out some things that you have found that tend to trip people up in the beginning. Um, because I know a lot of people have found different things or obstacles. And I do get this question a lot, like what are mistakes or what are barriers that a beginner might make that stops them from progressing? So I thought it would be fun to actually sit down here with you all, getting ready to go into Thanksgiving and everything, and discuss this. Discuss the things that I've seen personally that are very common, and get some feedback from you on what you all think. Um, so for me, one of the biggest things that I actually see that holds most practitioners back. Um, First off, they they overextend. They come into magic. They don't want to learn any basics whatsoever, and they want to run straight into all the advanced stuff, and they can't figure out why none of it works for them, or worse, why some of it's backfiring. No one wants to take the time anymore, anyways, to do the basics. Like meditation is the foundation of all magic. You are actually very, very hard pressed to find anyone who gets excited about meditation, and that's a little sad. Everyone wants instantaneous results and rewards from magic. No one wants to put in the work. They think it's as simple as light a candle, you're done. It's really not, and it's not as easy as find that one special book on a bookshelf and read it. For those who watched Charmed, it ruined a lot of magic because everybody thinks the book has the power in it. The books are useless. I'll be honest with you, they really are useless. They don't contain any power in and of themselves. And if you don't even know how to use the material in the book is useless. At best, it's a paperweight. But I have noticed meditation seems to be the one no one wants to do it. That's the first thing that they're going to ignore. And it's also the first thing you really need to do. That is where your focus, your discipline, and all that foundational work that's going to go into spell work, into astral travel, into evocation, all of that comes from meditation. And no one ever, ever wants to touch meditation. And that's a real shame. In fact, I would say 90% of the people I get that message me practically daily asking why something's not worked, I find out they skipped over all the beginner stuff and jumped straight over here to the advanced stuff, hoping they could just rub a genie's lamp, and boom, they're millionaires. Doesn't work that way. Um, and that's what it, that is one of the things. Next, for me, I think we move into the category of the arcane senses. And I kind of blame modern occult culture for this one. We've started talking about the arcane senses like they're gifts. You either have it or you don't. Because we got a lot of people walking around, they want gold stars. I'm an empath. I'm a clairsentient. I'm a clairaudient. And they just want gold stars. They want their special cookie for whatever it is they're claiming. Those are not gifts. Those are skills. Those are skills that anyone can learn. Yes, a person could be talented and be able to pick up that skill naturally or very easily, where some of us would have to put more work into it, just like any other skill out there. Many of you know I love your all's artwork. I say I can't draw a stick figure. Um, I do know that if I put my time and effort into drawing and practicing, I could do art, but I don't want to. That's not a skill I wish to develop. However, as silly as it may be, I have put time and effort into developing cartography skills as far as drawing maps because I'm a big nerd and I play D&D. So I can, ironically, draw a reasonable overland map because it's a skill. All of these so-called gifts are skills. I've never found one that is strictly a gift and then you have to be blessed with it by some Lord only knows how they're saying they're blessed with it. They can be learned and they can be developed, but they also need to be understood. Um, and most people don't take the time to develop their arcane senses, and most people really don't seem to understand them. When we are talking about your arcane senses, that does not mean that when your third eye or your arcane sight is open, that you're just going to use your physical eyes and you're going to see somebody standing over here. If your physical eyes did the work, you wouldn't need your arcane senses. And your arcane senses doesn't randomly plug into your physical senses. They are two separate senses. The processing center is the same, though. And that's what people fail to realize. They're like, I'm not seeing it, I'm only seeing it in my mind's eye. You're seeing it. You are seeing it. Your mind's eye is your arcane sight. If you're hearing it in your head, that is your arcane hearing picking it up and processing it. It's not actually going to vibrate the eardrum. Luckily, because I'll be honest, some of the entities hanging around my house uh, could vibrate my eardrum. That means the microphones could pick up a lot more, and it'd be a lot more hectic around here. Um, so these I have found are some of the largest barriers coming into magic because it's not the meditation. Okay, that's just because people's a little lazy. I'll admit that one. But some of these others, it's it's not really a personal fault. It's a misunderstanding. What we got here? Let's see. I think entities will. Yep. Aldi Chan, yes, not working on your arcane senses is definitely a big one. Oh, and before I forget, because somebody will throw something at me, probably a clock or something, hit that like button. Let YouTube know you do like the stream, people. That way, more people can actually find the stream, hopefully, find the channel, and we can get more of this information shared with people. And of course, grow the community so maybe more people will join in on the live chats live and take part in these discussions, which is always a great thing. So, yeah, get those likes up. YouTube likes those likes. All right, let's see here. Uh, Saeed, Drake, I'm interested in sigil magic, but I have no knowledge. Do you have any advice? Well, we do have a sigil magic video here on the channel that can get you started real easy. But with sigil magic, even, I do still say start with meditation because the ability to focus is important. So if you have no knowledge at all and you're a blank slate, check out our videos on meditation. Check out our videos on basic energy work. Check out our video on grounding and shielding. These are all foundational for any form of magic that you intend to do ever from now into the future. And then we do have a video on an introduction to sigil magic. Those would all be a great place to get started. So, yeah. So, those are hands down the biggest blockages that I've come up across most often. So, with that, I would ask you all, what to you do you think is something that you would tell a beginner to help them uh, see results and to really progress at a good rate? And do type it in here in the chat. I'm literally asking you all so that we can get this discussion up and rolling. Let's see here. What's this one? Hermetic, I did a video on whether entities are a part of us or whether they are real. You can go check that out for a full detailed discussion on that. Let's see. Luna, steady work and discipline, but not to the point of overdo and exhaust yourself. Oh, that's a very good point. And that's actually 2 points, Luna, that I think are very good ones. That's a great one. Magic takes time. Magic is not something you're going to pick up in a week. It is a lot of work. Magic is not the easy path by no means. It is a lot of time. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of focus. It's also a lot of fun. So, yes, there is a lot of steady work, discipline, and dedication that goes into understanding magic and actually being able to get results from it. But, but, um, Luna tacked on there, not burning yourself out in exhaustion. That is another good one. I know a lot of people don't get results from their work because they're so driven, so pushing themselves to the limit that they're drained. They're exhausted. They got nothing left. You need to take time and rest. You really, really do. Let's see. Oni Chan, absorbing too much energy and running around the house. Yes. Um, Grounding is important. And this is one I know veteran practitioners who will forget to ground. They've been practicing for years and they will sit there, they'll do rituals, they'll absorb all this energy, and then they get all scrambled or running around the house and they can't figure out why, what's wrong. And they're just forgetting to ground. Learning to ground and center and balance out your energy. You are so right, Oni Chan. That is instrumental. Very good call on that one. Jade, not forget foundational work. Yes, that is true, Jade. That is the foundational stuff. It is very, very important, and it should always be maintained. I know. I talked about the people who just skip meditation, right? We talked about them. Then we got the people who start in meditation. They do their meditations. They get into what some people call the fun stuff, and then they stop. They stop doing anything to do with their foundational works. You can't do that. The foundational work is foundational and needs to continue throughout your practice. Um, Otherwise, you will hit that wall and you're just going to slam into it. So, uh, yeah, Jade is absolutely correct. That foundational work is important. Let's see, what is it? This on. Do your research and take everything with a grain of salt. That is actually a good point. Uh, There's a lot of things, especially in the day of the internet. A lot of people saying a lot of things. And when things don't work, they'll give a lot of excuses. One of the reasons I put out here, if your practice is working, hey, Scott, um, and it's yielding results, I don't care what other people say. You keep doing you. The only time I tell a person to step back, evaluate is, are you not getting the results you want? Are you not getting the percentage of manifestations you want? Or are you not getting any manifestations at all? That's when you need to step back, reevaluate, and figure. But you should do your research. You should know why you're doing something. Most people who I've seen, oh, my chest is clearing, but man, have Magick go wrong. They didn't know why they was doing something. They just followed a video or followed some random witch talk thing, which I'll be honest, I've not seen anything good come off witch talk yet. I don't spend much time there, so there might be something, but by and large, I haven't. But yes, doing your research, diving deep, and asking the questions is really important. Not to compare your magical growth with others. Everyone's practice. Yes, that's a big one. That is a good one. I get asked all the time how long it took me to develop this or this or this or this. And some of those things came quickly to me. But some of those things, the core foundations of them, were things I'd worked on prior, not realizing they had anything to do with magic. So you do have those fluctuations, and you can't really compare yourself. We're all going to have different obstacles. So you need to keep your focus on you and not be compare yourself to other practitioners out there. Other practitioners are great for advice if you're hitting a blockage. That's one reason we have the Discord community, so we can share our experiences and share advice and attempt to help one another. But we have members in there, they've really struggled with different things at different times. The community's been really great about helping them through. And one particular member, though they've struggled, and I think they still struggle with a few things, in the last year, watching their progression on the server, watching their practice grow, it's been amazing. And I'm so proud of them. And I'm proud of the community for helping them. So don't compare your progress to another's. Let's see. Victoria, personally, I found the biggest issue I had was thinking there was only one way to do magic instead of multiple paths. Victoria, oh, you may have unlocked a golden gate there, girl. Yes, many of you know I have big issues with most of the gatekeeping concepts. And part of that is because a lot of these traditions or whatnot, they think their way is the only way. That's it. We're done. My way is the only way. If you don't do it my way, you ain't doing magic. Whew. That's horse shit. Magic is a very fluid, very shapeable thing. When someone shares a practice or a tradition, even me, when I'm sharing what I have done that yields results, I am sharing stuff that I have tried, I have tested, and I've even put it to the test with students. And it yields results, I'd say usually 80% of the time before I share it. Sometimes a little less depending on what it is, but it's something that I've tried, I've utilized, other people's utilized, and it has shown results. Does that mean it will show results for everyone? No. Does that mean it will be your cup of tea? No. Will it show results for you? Maybe, probably. I know people who they do rituals that give them results, but they don't like the way the rituals are set up. So they want to find something else. That's okay too. Your practice should yield results and help you to build the life you want. It does not have to be an exact process of no mistakes, dot your I's, cross your T's, hold your hands the exact same way, stand the way I do, pronounce everything the way I do. And we've got a lot of people out there who are trying to pigeonhole magic into that concept. And Victoria's right. That is definitely something that I think is unfortunately holding a lot of people back. And I hope on this channel I do a fair job of communicating that that's not the fact, and we can find our individual pathway. In fact, I think I spent like most of the first year of this channel talking about the nuts and bolts of magic before we even mentioned dragon magic, because I want you all to find your own path. And I may have to go back through those basic videos and see if there's anything missing. We might need to revisit some of the basics or expound upon those original ideas some too, because that is an important one, Victoria. Let's see here what we got. Let's see, Hermetic. I say a year minimum to become a decent magician, but with consistency. I see it like bodybuilding. It takes time to develop those muscles and mental. I guess it would depend on how you mean decent magician. But yeah, I would say a year. If you spent 1 year of consistent work, no slacking off, um, I would say in 1 year you could develop the foundational skills to reliably manifest with your spell work and ritual work pretty well. But it would depend on what you would consider that reliable percentage. And that, but I'd say a year's probably a fair one to say a decent, at least beginner magician. Because I'd say honestly, at a year's time, there's other advanced practices that a lot of people just won't have under their belt. They're still going to be able to be manifesting. They're still going to be able to be shaping their lives. And I mean, even at a year, you're still working on self-discipline and self-mastery. But I'd say a year is a fair one to say that you're starting to really get your sea legs under you as far as magic's concerned. Let's see, learn from others, but not forget who you are and what your passions are, because they can be part of your path. Absolutely, Luna. Absolutely. Um, that's one of the reasons I try to remind you all that I'm not spiritual, I'm not religious, I just follow the science of magic. I have found that teaching the nuts and bolts works for those who aren't spiritual, who aren't religious, but I've also found that it does help the people who are spiritual and religious to understand the framing so that they can take that framing and make it their own, whatever their spirituality or their religious beliefs may be, which does allow me to work with basically any type of student who wants to learn magic. And that's been a really, really helpful thing for me as a teacher. Um, and it is interesting at times when people come to me asking questions framed religiously or spiritually, and then I have to kind of dissect it apart for them. But they do understand why I'm doing it, which is really good. Um, and yes, a lot of people, it's hard sometimes to remember your path is your path, and your passions can easily be a part of that path. And honestly, I would say should be a part of that path. Um, we have a lot of artists in here that are trying to incorporate their artwork into their path, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. You really should. Music is also things that I've seen people incorporate. Of course, kitchen witchery, that we got a lot of people who love to cook incorporating that. So yes, your passions should definitely be incorporated in. And as Luna said, learn from others, learn from them, listen to them. But then meditate on what you learned and ask how you can incorporate it into your path, um, because that is a valuable, valuable thing. Oni-chan, learn about the culture the entity comes from. Absolutely, definitely. Scott Spartan, students, you mentor people. Yes, I do. I take on personal students sometimes if I have availabilities. Right now, I currently don't. I also have an online school at workingdragonmystic.com where a lot of my classes we're working on getting those filmed and uploaded so that you can basically you buy the class one time fee like you would if you were just when I was working at a metaphysical shop. It's the same price you would pay for it there. The only difference is instead of the class with me and then it's over, you get lifetime access to it and you can rewatch all the lectures, the work, the meditations, and it even allows me to do more that way because I can include meditation music, guided meditations, all those things that you get to take home with you. Um, it's actually been a huge upgrade. But I do still occasionally take one-on-one students and apprentices occasionally. Um, it's getting harder and harder the way things have been. But yeah, I do mentor from time to time. If you're interested, you can email me at workingdragonmystic at gmail.com, and uh, see what it is that you're wanting to work on or wanting mentoring in, and whether or not I have an availability that we could work on. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Keep aloe vera at hand for incoming booms. Yep, pretty much. Honestly, the future is not set in stone for anything. So when you have people saying, "Have these entities told you this is happening? This is happening?" Um, yeah, no, the future is not set in stone. It is constantly in flux and constantly moving. The decisions that individuals make change the individual's future. Beyond that future, and when you're talking about on a global scale, it becomes far, far more complicated. And to track the singular path of something like even this freaking rock here is statistically impossible because every choice, every individual who has free will has not made choices that they're going to have to make. There's millions of choices made a day per person. And then that just starts stacking up for every person you add. The globe has a lot of people on it, a lot. And all those people add to the unpredictability of it. And they also add to which pathway, direction, or what the future will take on any particular geographic. Um, so, yeah, and that is literally what me and the dragons have talked about. The dragons have talked about things that they would like to see. They've talked about things that they believe humanity um, has screwed up. They talked about things that um, they think humanity can do better in. They've even talked about things that they think humanity are doing very well. Um, but the dragons aren't ignorant enough to look out and say, this is the point you're going to, because they can see all those probable points and they don't want to fearmonger and, well, show their ass. There's a lot of magicians out there who want to show their ass about the world ending and all this. And as I've said, I personally lived through over 80 apocalypses where everyone died, the end of the world came, there was no tomorrow. Oh, wait, we're still here. Every one of those magicians, astrologers, predictions, psychics, they were all wrong. Um, but after every apocalypse, they quickly change their predictions and release a new book, don't they? Because let's be honest, fear sells books. Halloween, glad you could join us. And it's okay. You can pop in here as dad and daughter's D&D. It's okay. Yeah, Scott, everybody's like, the end is nigh, the end is nigh. And before y'all ask, I am nowhere near 80. So the fact that I've survived 80 apocalypses is freaking ridiculous. I'm at the point every time they tell me the world's ending, I throw a party. We make some margaritas, we grill some steaks, we have a big old time. And we're pretty sure we have to go to work tomorrow too, because seriously, it ain't ended yet. Yes, I did, Luna. I survived the I survived Y2K. I did. um yeah, we survived 2020, right? Which I'll be honest, the way my generation handled Y2K, I mean, I had people saying, "Oh my god, it was horrible." We were telling jokes about it. My generation, you give us a problem, you want to give us something to worry about, we're going to make a joke. My senior class shirt, I graduated in 2000, said it's a millennial miracle. We graduated. We don't care. We're going to make jokes about everything. That's why most of us have dark humor. But we also have low mental illness because, hey, we know how to tell a joke. Let's see. Take it easy on the chin. Yeah, they're a little slow on that thumbs up button, Halloween. I don't know what's wrong with them. Maybe I'm ugly today. I don't know. Let's see here. Scott, fire and brimstone. And it's just Tuesday. I know, right? It's actually kind of funny because I had an interesting view of most of these events. Because I had a lot of pagan friends and I had a lot of Christian friends. The Christians didn't seem to care. I mean, their opinion was like, well, if the world's ending, okay. And they went on about their business. My pagan friends, man, they seemed to worry. And then you had the non-religious, but they were spiritual, so they believed in psychics and stuff, and they were freaking out too. Only they had no foundation or bedrock to cling to. So it's interesting to watch how people respond to those sorts of things. Leah, hey, good to see you. Alex, the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar, yeah. uh, sorry. There is actually a Mayan elder who flat out said the calendar just stopped because they just didn't get to complete it or continue it. So I thought that was kind of funny. Well, I'm not an atheist. I don't think I would count as an atheist. It'd be kind of hard to do this and count as an atheist, I think. And most of my friends are actually pagans. So there is that. And honestly, coping skills are kind of a necessary. And I have been tested for many mental illnesses. I'm clean bill of health. But I think one of the big things is I think people need more coping skills. They really do. People get way too triggered these days. Is the cliff off dangerous? Well, that would depend on your definition of dangerous. Is it anywhere for a beginner? New. There are no shape, form, or fashion. Is it a beginner's study? Because it will take your fears, it will take your trauma, It will take your pain and it will shove it in your face and drown you in it if you're not willing to face it. The Qliphoth is creation through destruction. It will destroy everything you know, everything you are, in order to rebuild you stronger. So there are a lot of people who are not mentally and emotionally ready to handle that because there's no throttle. There's no throttle at all. It's an all or nothing kind of thing. And I've never found a way of working with the Qliphoth with a throttle. So, depending on how you define dangerous, I mean, anything's dangerous. Water's dangerous, handled incorrectly. So the Qliphoth can be very, very helpful if you understand it, if you're prepared for it, and you're ready to do the work, and you have conditioned yourself mentally, emotionally, and you've disciplined yourself. It can be a very, very beneficial working. However, if you do not have the tools, the mindset, and you're not ready for, then yeah, it's going to be dangerous. Yeah, be easy on the religion bashing. We actually do have a few atheist practitioners that follow this channel, so which is actually quite interesting to see happen. I have to say we've been really blessed with a very diverse community here, and for the most part, we've not really had any major concentration of trolls or anything as long as this channel's been up. Oh, which does remind me, speaking of how long the channel's been up, people, we crossed 9,000 this week. 9,000, seriously. Which means we are officially in the push to 10K. We are. So, I am actually going to be thinking about what we are going to be doing for 10K. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a giveaway or of some kind. But yeah, we are definitely going to be figuring that out. Hopefully, I'll have an announcement within the next week or so. But if you want to go ahead and we need an over 9,000 shirt. You know what, Luna? You're right. We do. You're right. We do. Let's do that. We'll definitely get an over 9,000 shirt for the store for those of you interested in picking one up. There's also been talk about actually getting some Yule and pagan themed holiday masks and neck gaiters at the store. A lot of people was asking if I could do that since we did the Dragon's Eye Seal one. I would love to. I would love to do some pagan and Yule themed masks for you all. So, do me this favor if you will. Either in the comments below when this repost or jump over to the Discord. Let me know what kind of designs you would like. I can't promise them all, but if you let me know what you're looking for in just a pagan mask or a Yule style mask, let me know. We will see about trying to get it done. Okay? Because there is a supreme shortage of this. And the way I see it, if I have to go out in town, I have to wear a mask, which I don't mind doing. I'm at least going to do it stylishly. Make it my own. You know what I mean? Super Saiyan trick. I do not look good in spiky hair, Luna. I do not. Hey, Bruce. Glad to see you. I know, right, Leah? I'm surprised. The fact that we crossed 9K. It's I sat there and stared at the number for like a good 15 minutes. And it still hasn't fully set in that I'm in that push for 10K because y'all know I keep this very simple, very straight talk style channel. Not a lot of bells and whistles. Occasionally we do something goofy. Many of you constantly remind me of the joke I threw into the shadow work video. But I do try to keep it pretty straight and to the point on here as much as I can. And that's not exactly great for YouTube clicks, but I am definitely in this more for helping others than the clicks. So, you know, it is amazing that I've done this well with it. And I actually owe it all to y'all. You guys are amazing. So mugs up to you. Honestly, I'm not surprised to see a Dragon Ball Z joke. I'm really not. All right. So we got about 10 minutes before Jade throws clocks at me. And actually, I got to go check on something in here soon. So, any final questions? We may actually wrap up a little early tonight. Everything's kind of slow. So I figured if we can wrap up early, we can. Scott, it was good to see you. Is this your first time here, Scott? I think you've been here before. Actually, aren't you in one of the local Facebook groups I'm in? I think you are. I think that might be you, Scott. If that is you, mate, mugs up to you. It's in the Virginia area. That might help you out a little bit. Need a coffee refill, too. Oh, some of you asked me about this. This is actually, yes, it's a clay mug, earthenware. I got it at a steampunk event maybe 5 years ago. I don't know the store. It's like you bought the ticket. If you paid the extra, you got the coffee cup. Y'all know me. If I'm going to an event and there's a coffee cup limited edition, odds are I'm leaving with the coffee cup. Okay. I had a friend. They planned on just buying the extras. There were no extras. I think they're still mad at me about that one. But I do love this cup. It holds a lot. And it actually, it don't get too hot to the touch, but it does keep your drink warm. I like it. And yeah, their little mascot's like an octopus or a kraken, so that's on there. Friday night, everyone is chilling. You know what? I heard that. I think the Friday night ones are going to be a little slower, honestly, as we cruise into the holidays. Just because everyone's doing that extra bit of work, which I understand that. I love getting my work done too. And then I think Magical Coffee Hour on Sundays will continue to be the higher ones just because everyone's had the ability to chill. And then they like coming in and joining us for the goofiness that happens at Magical Coffee Hour. What's that, Jade? Oh, Jade. Yes, thank you. Jade is correct, everyone. We are having a New Year's challenge. Not one of these New Year, New Me. Who needs that? No. Our New Year's challenge is 6 months. And we have officially set up a section of the Discord. So if you join the Discord, you can let myself or any of the admin know what your particular goal is, and you'll get the tag and you'll participate. We're going to have a chat group, a voice chat, text chat, the whole 9 yards, so we can share our experiences, motivate each other, and even give magical tips and ideals for how to achieve our goals. Now, here's the kicker. All you need to do is pick a goal that is some form or fashion self-improvement, self-mastery, uh, and personal development. Doesn't have to be magical, though it could be. A lot of people are choosing magical goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Many of you know that I'm doubling down on getting back in shape and trying to get back down to my fight weight, and I plan to use Magick to do it. So I'm going to literally be sharing my work, my progress, my methods during the challenge. I may do some more vlogs, potentially vlogging some of it as well. That point where you've almost got rid of the cough, and there's just that last bit of irritation. So that is officially set up. So you can go ahead, jump into the Discord, let us know, and you can get your tag. Here's the kicker, though. For those who participate and actively participate for the 6 months, there will be a drawing for prizes at the end of the 6 months. Some of the admin have already donated a few things that we will be drawing for. So there will at least be multiple drawings for prizes for the 6 months. Now, if you sign up, if you get the tag, you say hi, and we don't hear from you until the last month, and then you say, here's what I've been working on, having the tag's not participating. You got to actually show participation within the actual chat at the very least. Share some of your progress and tips. Even once a month, just a once a month check-in would be plenty, but twice a month, even better. But we're hoping to make it an active thing where we're trying to help each other out. And kick around ideals and, share what's worked, what hasn't worked, those kinds of things. The ups and the downs. I personally think this is a great way to hold oneself accountable. I know a lot of people, all they need to really hold themselves accountable for that self-discipline or self-improvement is just one person to know what they're doing. And then, boom, they do it. However, if they don't have that one person, we'll do it next year. So I'm really looking forward to this. I've had a lot of you all message me about you all looking forward to it. And we've had a lot of people already sign up, get the New Year's Challenge tag. So this is already it's shaping out to be an amazing event with the community. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So if anybody watching this wants to participate, you can find the Discord link in the About section of this channel. Just click that. It'll pop you straight over to the Discord. Read the rules. Click the emoji to accept the rules. And say hi to everybody, and then let myself or any of the admin know that you want to participate in what it is you're working on. All right? All right. With that, everyone, I am going to say good night. Tomorrow is my day off, and I have some housework to do. But it is my day off as far as work and Magick, so we'll take a little breather. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you Sunday for Magical Coffee Hour, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. So grab your snacks, grab your coffee. Let's get in there. We'll share our weekends. Hopefully, everyone stays safe. I really do hope you all stay safe and enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you Sunday. All right? Good night. Bye-bye. That's funny.